Rotator cuff repair surgery can be a long, difficult recovery. In this week's Ask the Doctor video, I share my perspective on traditional and regenerative orthopedic treatment options that might speed recovery and improve the chances of a full recovery. I'm Dr. David Geier, triple board certified orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and anti-aging and regenerative medicine expert. I help you feel, look, and perform your best regardless of age or injury. This video is part of my Ask the Doctor video series in which I answer questions that you've left me in the comments to the videos on my channel. Just remember, this is not meant for specific medical advice. I'm not giving you medical advice. This is meant for information and educational purposes only. Here's the question. I just had rotator cuff repair surgery 3 weeks ago. Is there anything I can do to speed up recovery and or improve my chances at a full recovery? All right, those are great, and they're two different things to think about, but along the same lines. First of all, I think what's really, really important to know about recovery from rotator cuff surgery is to follow the instructions the surgeon has as far as, are you in a sling? What activities are you allowed to do? What are you not supposed to do? And then work with a physical therapist that is really good with recovery from shoulder surgery and can get your motion back and get your strength back. By far, that is the most important thing. When we're talking about a variety of regenerative and other options can be helpful, but the physical therapy and the rehab, exceedingly important. Now, could something like peptides, which a patient can give him or herself, help? Could regenerative injections, whether that's PRP or stem cells or exosomes injected into the shoulder, help? Let's talk briefly about that. As far as a peptide, say like BPC or thymosin beta 4, or maybe like a CJC 1295, I definitely think there is potentially a role in terms of helping a patient recover, getting their motion back a little bit better, maybe, but more getting the strength back faster, because that weakness after surgery is a real challenge, and that may play a role. Would something like BPC or thymosin beta 4, TB500 actually speed up healing of the repaired rotator cuff? That's harder to know. I'd be a little skeptical. Probably wouldn't be harmful, but certainly could be helpful. So yeah, you could potentially talk to your doctor about those types of peptides. You want to see a doctor that's knowledgeable in peptides, that prescribes them from a legitimate compounding pharmacy. I've done whole videos on that on other parts of my channel, instead of just going on and trying to buy peptides online. But again, prescribed legitimate compounding pharmacy, I think there's potentially an option. I'm not pushing peptides. They're considered experimental by the FDA, and there's a number of other concerns, but that is something you might think about. As far as augmenting the surgery with PRP or exosome, something like that, PRP can a lot of times be done at the time of surgery. There's ways to do that. But after surgery as well, potentially there could be a role in those, not so much to speed the recovery, but more to augment the repair. One of the challenges of rotator cuff repair surgery is there's a fairly high failure rate, meaning that rotator cuff re-tears. In fact, in some studies, very high tear rate or failure rate. Now, people are still largely doing pretty well even after the failure, but it is a little disconcerting. And so, yes, potentially adding PRP injected into that area, or adding something like exosomes, albeit to my knowledge, exosome stem cells have not been studied for that purpose, but to try to augment the healing rotator cuff tendon and the tissue in there, that could potentially be an option. Again, considered experimental. I'm not pushing it. Those aren't covered by insurance. So definitely talk to your orthopedic surgeon. See if that's potentially an option for you. All right, if you'd like a free copy of my ebook, The Arthritis Solution, it covers a variety of non-surgical treatments, some of the regenerative treatments, but not just for arthritis. They potentially could be applied to all kinds of orthopedic injuries and conditions. You can get that completely free. Just click the link in the description below. Also, if you're potentially interested in talking to me about potentially being a patient of mine to hear more about options other than surgery or cortisone shots, go to that link and then fill out the contact form. You can learn more about scheduling an appointment. Also, I'd love to hear your experience with your injury. Leave those in the comments below this video. Just know that if you leave a question for me in the comments, I can't offer you medical advice, but I might answer your question in a future video like I'm doing here. All right, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Click the bell to be notified when I release a new video and when I start my Ask Dr. Geier live shows. Thanks for watching. I look forward to helping you feel, look, and perform better than ever.